And we're back with game 2, ladies and gentlemen, of SFAD versus DoV Chaos. Random minion caster, and this is the finals here. And after a very back and forth, a very close run, game 1 here, SFAD manages to pick up a win on the red side. And coming into game 2, the teams have swapped side. It's going to be SFAD here on the blue side. No changes to their roster whatsoever. DoV Chaos likewise on the red side here. And we're going to hop straight into the picks and bans. SFAD not changing up too much here. The Rumble Corki Echo. So they, Rumble Corki Volibear, they let through the Echo in favor of banning out that Corki somewhat as expected here. Echo and Olaf on that second rotation for DoV Chaos. They're gonna ban out the Set, Jarvan, Senna, Syndra, and Orianna, so they have no problems letting through the Caitlyn once again here. Now, in terms of picks, SFAD, despite having the option to first pick that Caitlyn, they're actually gonna go with an Ashe instead for Rookter here. Ashe has been increasing in popularity throughout pretty much all of League of Legends, regardless which region you're in. No real buffs to her recently. She's just gotten stronger in terms of her counter matchups. Has always really been a very solid champion, along with the Leona. That's going to make for a really scary bot lane, especially at 6. Kindred, Urgot, and Veigar are going to be the rest of the lineup here for SFAD. So they're going a little bit light on tank, but there is the Lamb's Respite there for Jaster in the jungle on that Kindred. So if he gets that right, it will be massive. But we have seen Kindreds perform extremely well, and we've also seen Kindreds completely unable to use the Lamb's Respite. So we'll have to see how Jaster plays this one here in game 2 for DoV Chaos. They're the ones to pick up the Caitlyn, and the Thresh for Lo-Fi Warden actually didn't make it through this time, so he will happily pick that one up. The Poppy coming in for Truodog, so Poppy becoming a bit of a priority here between both these teams. A little surprising. We have seen Demacia start sort of prioritizing Poppy a little bit in the last couple weeks throughout the playoffs. So a bit of a change here. We'll have to see how that one works out. The Sejuani coming up for Sonic Abs, and Fizz in the mid lane here for Doifin Judas. Usually considered a bit of a counter matchup against the Veigar, and we'll have to see how that one goes. It's a very volatile lane, especially once they hit 6. Really, either side could just be popped in an instant there. And the teams are now on to the Rift here. Once again, it is SFAD this time on the blue side, DoV Chaos on the red side here. And having had the opportunity to go head-to-head here in game 1, both teams will be a lot more familiar with how this is gonna play out. And the team's compositions have changed a little bit. We are still seeing a lot of team fight strength on the side of DoV Chaos, but a bit more pick potential as well with the Fizz. And on the side of SFAD, they have favored sort of team fighting, but rather than having proper tanks, they're sort of relying on that Lamb's Respite here from Jaster. They're trying to pile on the damage instead. So we'll have to see if that burst damage, that the high focus on damage from SFAD works out, or whether it's going to come back and bite them here in the back, because tanks usually are required, especially in the mid to late game, to give a bit of a meat shield to let your damage put out do a bit more. But they do have the infinite scaling of Veigar here, which kind of changes things up a little bit, because the later you go, the stronger that Veigar gets, and we might start seeing sort of hundreds to zeros in one rotation, insta pops coming out onto Doifin and onto Judas here for DoV Chaos. The interesting thing to note is sort of the overlapping champion pools. There are 3 champions here on the side of DoV Chaos, which SFAD did play in game 1 here, the Caitlyn, the Sejuani, and the Poppy as well. So we might start seeing certain picks become sort of contested picks here for both teams. The Poppy especially, maybe the Caitlyn as well, though it does look like Rookter more than happy to give up that Caitlyn in favor of Ashe. And unlike in game 1, the junglers not starting on the same side of the map, both of them starting at their red buffs. So we probably won't see them sort of meet up in that top mid like we did in game 1 here. And again, Caitlyn getting themselves an easy advantage here with that range. Judas able to sort of win that first wave, but that is against an Ashe here with one of the highest ranges as well. So while Caitlyn does outrange Ashe, it's only by a little bit, so Rookter should be just fine farming things up for now. Lo-Fi though, playing very aggressively. Both the Flay and the Death Sentence not going to connect, but he does manage to force North Wolf and Rookter back, and that's actually kind of huge, because the Leona hitting level 2 early does mean that they like to go aggressive, but because they were losing sort of the priority on those waves, they took longer to hit level 2, and that sort of negates a lot of that insta level 2 burst that we sometimes see coming out of Caitlyn's here. And Sonic Abs learning from game 1, sneaking into the bushes here, trying to set up for a potential gank, because it was Rookter who sort of started taking over games here. And are they going to engage? No, the play instead being the one from Lo-Fi here. And the Zenith Blade coming out might be death, because the trap coming out, a good flash to keep him alive. Do they have enough damage? No. Lo-Fi actually has to flash out against Rookter here for now. And the gank from Sonic Abs not really paying dividends, as it is going to be both Judas, Dolphin, and Lo-Fi taking lower here in that bot side. While that was happening, Jaster is going to be able to pick up a mark here on that top side. Uncontested on that scuttle is a nice, safe, neutral mark to get, which will be nice for them. And Judas, Dolphin taking a bit of damage in order to try and get the headshot proc onto Rookter there. Event Horizon comes out, is going to lock Sonic Abs into a bit of a pig pen for a short while, but not a ton of damage coming out. The Baleful Strike does get another stack here for Unknown Temptation. So that will be nice, but no biggie really. His flash did get blown. And now the death sentence from Lo-Fi following up with the flay, but Lo-Fi taking turret damage. We've seen this song and dance before. Last time it was SFAD dying to the turret. This time it is going to be DoV Chaos instead. Maybe something about the red side and turrets. I don't know. Kind of weird there. Jaster flashing in, trying to find Sonic Abs. The hop will not find anything. And now instead it's Unknown Temptation who might go down here, because Dolphin reinforcing Judas there in that mid lane is going to give Judas an early kill into the mid lane. That will be rough for Unknown Temptation here. And a great assist also onto Dolphin. A little bit of an edge here, does lose out a bit of experience, but hey, Lo-Fi was already not there. A great death sentence over the wall. They're going to be able to find Jaster here, and Jaster, is he going to go down? Just barely able to hop over the wall. The put over Peacemaker not finding him, but where's he going to go? He's deep inside enemy territory with nowhere to run. Is he going to try and execute on the turret? The minions tanking this one up for now. And it is going to be a flash from Dolphin here to secure this one. A kill and assist for him. That is a nice one there. The flash probably not completely necessary there, but I mean, a kill is a kill, and you can't argue with that. Not to mention he gets there in time to sort of catch the majority of that wave. Did lose a little bit to the turret, but will be able to catch most of that out. And that is going to be Rookter going back to base. He's picking himself up the pickaxe, and that's most likely going to herald the sort of mana immune Ashe that is becoming more and more popular right now in solo queue. And that Manamune Ashe actually very, very efficient. Manamune, an incredibly efficient item right now in the game. Perhaps almost a little too efficient. And Ashe does get a little bit mana hungry, so it's a great item to pick up. The gank coming down from Jaster, but an easy lantern gets him out to safety for now. Are they going to look for the re-engage? No, because Dolphin desperately wants to go back to base here. He is sitting on a pretty penny, wants to be able to buy some items to get a bit of an advantage here. Bit of a trade in that top side between Cassidy and TrueDog, but unfortunately for Cassidy, it wasn't that 1v1 he thought it was. Sonic Abs coming in just in time to back him up on that one, but that does mean they're sacrificing the bottom side, specifically the Inferno Drake here. The first Drake gonna go over the way of SFAD. A nice bonus for them. The attack damage certainly came in handy last game. And we'll have to see if it plays as big a role here into game 2 now that Rookter isn't getting those headshot procs. We do see now the death sentence coming out onto Rookter, but they're not going to follow up. Instead, the play being used onto Northwolf instead. Just getting damage. They're not tunneling too much on the kills, just on the pressure. And with that BF sword coming up from Dolphin here in that bot lane, they should enjoy themselves a bit of an advantage in any fights that they opt to pick here against Rookter's pickaxe. Lo-Fi on this stretch is so aggressive, landing death sentence after death sentence. He gets yet another one. The insta cleanse coming out. Will it be enough? The ignite ticking down will not find Rukter, but he is going to be very, very low. And the bot lane should be hitting level 6 not too long from now. So that will be ace in the hole coming out available for Dolphin here. Rukter, knowing that, is looking to base immediately. Does not want to stick around and accidentally give up an easy kill. Or no, he's making a lie out of me as he does cancel the back mid lane. Unknown Temptation goes down to Dolphin there. Yet another kill with the assist of Sonic Apps. Mid lane not going well for Unknown Temptation this game. Dolphin starting to look like he's the better mid laner here as he gets yet another kill there. And the faster he starts snowballing, the worse it's going to be for SFAD. You never want to see an assassin start getting ahead here. Bot side Lo-Fi again trying to position, but there is a ward in the bush here, meaning that Lo-Fi will get spotted out. He can't use the bush to hide anymore. And this is why people were banning Thresh against Lo-Fi throughout the regular season here. He's very, very proficient on his hook champion here. He's going to eat another volley to the face though. That sentence comes out, lands on a minion, and top side, we missed the kill, but Dog killing Cassidy again, and right now the solo lanes really not working out for SFAD. They did struggle a little bit in game 1, but it didn't look quite this one-sided here. The bot lane right now also winning here for DOB Chaos, so they're winning really everywhere. It is going to be the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. It does land on to Dolphin. He does not take the Lantern, so he's going to have to take the long way out of this one. No flash available for him, but the Zenith Blade not quite able to land. He'll be just fine for now. Acer desperately looking for the kill. Can he find it? He's actually flashed in. That's his flash down for now. Again, both teams very, very fast to capitalize on this. They see Jacer bot lane, instantly Sonic App goes for the Herald, gets that instead. So they do trade sort of pressure on the map here. Dolphin sticking around. Everybody really basing on the side of SFAD here. So he's going to be able to get an easy wave and a half here. I don't know if he's going to stay around or just wait for this to sort of crash instead. Yeah, he's going to stick around, catch this one, get the wave pushing in his favor for now. Forget about freezing it. And Dog roaming into the mid lane. Interesting choice here. It looks like they're just going to try and camp Unknown Temptation, make sure that he gets behind and stays behind, because if Vigar is behind, he really can't do much at all. But unfortunately for Dog, nothing really to find. He does pick up the scuttle at least, so not a completely useless trip there. And so far, Dolphin doing a great job in the mid lane. He's actually up CS right now, up kill pressure as well, and now Lo-Fi Warden hovering there with Sonic Abs. They're looking to commit 3. They really, really, really want to get a kill here. And I have no doubt if they can land any CC at all, they'll be able to do it. There's no flash available for Unknown Temptation here. They're just holding off. There's no Chum the Waters. The flash coming out from Sonic Abs here. They don't get the stun, but they get the slow, and that should be more than enough to pick up this kill here. Sonic Abs going to be beneficiary of that one after all the time spent. It'll be nice for him to get at least that. Jaster and Northwolf are coming up, but it's a little bit too late. They can't quite find anything there. Bot side, Enchanted Crystal Arrow does land onto Dolphin. He's going to go down. The burst coming out of Rukter is absolutely massive there. And he's dead. Lo-Fi Warden now has to be careful. He's walking into 2. Solar Flare catches him. Zenith Blade to follow up. And it's going to be the Northwolves Ignite picking that one up. Unfortunate for Jacer. He doesn't get it. But still, that's good enough for now. And while DOV Chaos managed to brute force the one mid, they get one gank. They end up losing 2 for it. Definitely not a worthwhile trade. And SFAD still managing to find kills here on the map. The bot lane right now with 1 kill for Rukter, 2 for Northwolf is sort of again that bright shining point here for SFAD. Their solo lane's not able to win this one. And despite originally being down in lane by about 20 CS, Rukter's actually kind of evened things out here. So if we take a quick look at the goal, he's actually up a little bit right now. Will be evened out as Dolphin gets back to lane and we'll be able to pick up these minions. So at least they're not completely falling behind. And that's actually a huge deal here for them. Upside, Cassidy just bullying out Dog for now. Not quite in execute range for that Harpoon just yet. And interestingly enough, DOV Chaos starting up this Dragon here. Since they're the ones back in lane, and since Rukter and Northwolf did go back, that is going to be Ocean Drake going towards DOV Chaos. While Inferno Drake is great, especially if it's the only single one, Ocean Drake is actually probably better if it's the only single one there, so that's going to be great for them. Cassie in that top side, just going to punish that top lane. Will not be able to get it for now, but still getting quite a bit of plates off that top lane turret will be nice. Trodoc going to teleport immediately back to lane, and that's going to give teleport advantage to the side of SF80 now. Northwolf looking for the engage, but he suddenly realized there's 3 people there, 3v3, and with Judas coming down from that mid lane, that's not a fight that would favor you here, so they're gonna back off for now. And like I said, SF80 has been great at finding sort of the fights that benefit them here. While they are down in kills, a lot of that's just coming off the solo lanes, but bot lane, the Glacial Prison coming out, a good cleanse from Rukta to keep him alive. Teleport coming down as well from Cassidy here. And it is actually DoV Chaos losing this fight that they've initiated. Cassidy putting a bunch of damage down is going to be able to find kills. Jacer picking up Dolphin here. And it's going to be a double kill as he also manages to find Lo-Fi Warden and the entirety of SF80 looking down there. Event Horizon coming up. Chum the Waters, though, will be enough to stop any further damage. And Unknown Temptation getting the worst of that one. Will be able to get out as the entirety of his team was joining him from that bot side here. And SF80 starting to come back into the game with these fights that they found. We said it in game 1. They just seem to have these stronger individual mechanics. And it's starting to show once again in these fights as they're winning the fights. And as Rukta is starting to become a monster here. And Sonic Apps has to be careful. We could see Jacer dive here. Lamb's Respite is available, and Sonic Apps is going to back out for now. The ward is going to spot Jacer out. Can he get away? Yep. Taking the Blast Cone to safety. Death Sentence does not connect, and SF80 getting out just barely alive for now. And right now, if you are SF80, you just need to continue doing what you've been doing. Find these catches, find the positions to get these fights where they seem to be able to show off their in-fight mechanics here. For DoV Chaos, it's in order for them to win, they need to start making moves around the map a little bit here. They are up against the Vigar, so and technically Kindred also infinitely skills as well with those marks. Right now, Jacer just sitting on 3 marks, not the fastest, but not the worst either. So doing okay for himself, but it is on DoV Chaos to look for the sort of the movement here on the map. And Unknown Temptation able to land the GLP. Keeper's Verdict as well as the Flash. But Keeper's Verdict will not really find anything here because Unknown Temptation and Cassie backed out as soon as the Flash came out. And right now, it is SF80 making the moves, and that's great for them. They're starting to look like they're the ones in control. The goal lead tells a different story as well as the kill lead, but on the map right now, it is actually SF80 who feels like they're the stronger team, feels like they're the one able to make moves here, as we do see Jacer all around the map looking to find things for now. And in this top side, Cassidy, despite being down in levels, is the one winning these trades. Look at the damage he's putting out here. He misses the Harpoon though, and that one is key. Cassidy sat in the middle of minions. Means he might go down there as he's stuck in the minions, on the shield, and will get popped by Trodoc. Such a close fight there. Just very, very unfortunate. Solar Flare comes out, is going to be able to find Lo-Fi Warden and Dolphin. A beautiful play to disengage, and now it's Rukta trying to run away. Chum the Waters is going to be able to find him, though. He goes down now. Northwolf sat in the middle of 4. Can they find him? Yes, they can. Just question who they give it over to. They give it over to Dolphin here, and both Dolphin and Dolphin right now doing great. They're 3-0-2, 2-2, and 1 as well. Nice bit of a lead for themselves. And Dolphin also opting to start the Infinity Edge here. Rukta able to complete the Manamune already, starting to go that Zeal item. That's the benefit of that Manamune. It's such a cheap buy here. Now Unknown Temptation has to be careful, is taking a lot of damage. That headshot doing work. He's down to 2/3 health already here. And much like SF80 did in game 1, as soon as that bot side goes down, they rotate Caitlyn up to the mid lane. Enchanted Crystal Arrow almost catching them, just barely dodged out here by Dolphin. A great little sidestep to keep him alive. Did have the cleanse though, so probably wouldn't have died necessarily, but you don't want to have to risk using it. Better just sidestep that one. And now Drake is coming up. It's going to be once again the Mountain Soul here in game 2, similar to game 1. Trodoc, no teleport. He's going to try and get himself that top lane turret instead. And it looks like they might just give up this Mountain Drake here as all 5 members of SFAD are closing in. Truodog does manage to get that outer turret in that top side, and we see the pings coming down. Sonic Abs opting to trade objectives here. They don't feel comfortable winning that fight. They don't have the Glacial Prison available, nor do they have the box or Truodog. Lo-Fi Warden, well timed. They're trying to get that sneaky death sentence, but unfortunately it's him who ends up being sentenced to death there as the Solar Flare lands. A beautiful Solar Flare there catches him. He goes down, and that's going to be Mountain as well as a kill going to SFAD. DoV Chaos, however, did not manage to get the Herald at all. Actually, they didn't get there in time, so they find nothing off of it. The North Wolf looking to just ward him, and Sonic Abs doing their own thing. Gentleman's agreement, but the rest of the SFAD don't agree. They come in, and it's going to be Unknown Temptation able to pick that one up onto Sonic Abs. The Dark Matter coming in huge there. Now Rookter getting chummed on the waters there, followed by the trap, means the headshot comes across. Rookter just getting absolutely burst down. And while Unknown Temptation, Jester, and North Wolf are strong, I'm not sure they want to necessarily pick this fight here because there's a lot of damage to be had. Event Horizon comes out. The flash though from Judas. They're looking for a kill. Instead it's Jacer who might go down here from the damage. The Lamb's Respite not available. Truodog pinstering him off here. And now Lo-Fi Warden, can he find anything? The death sentence not able to connect. Event Horizon doing a bunch of work here, and everybody from SF80 gonna be able to get out for now. Headshot gonna be blocked by Cassidy, and he's tanky enough with the shield. He's a-okay. Finally, Herald going down to the side of DoV Chaos. And that was just a case of a little overstay here from SFAD. Rookter just not respecting the damage coming out of a 2-0-3 Fizz there, who has now completed the Proto Belt as well. And they get the Herald. They might also get this mid lane turret. Are they going to drop it? Yeah, they're going to drop Shelly. They're not taking risks with this one. Shelly going to come in. I don't think it was necessary, but oh, well, they are going to do it anyways. They actually might take it down. They do. So Shelly going to be full health, looking for the inner turret now instead. And Solar Flare comes out. They do manage to catch Judas as well as Sonic Abs, sorry, not Lo-Fi. And Sonic Abs taking a bunch of damage. Will be able to flash out to safety. Shelly's still on that inner turret there. Did get the charge off. Is still whacking away, doing bunches of damage, but it will most likely not go down for now. And that is the flash coming out of Sonic Abs to keep him alive, but they do remain alive. The question now is, can they defend this mid lane turret? It's only Sonic Abs and Lo-Fi here. Both Dolphin and Doifin opted to go back to base here. For now, it looks like they will be okay. The beautiful, beautiful death sentence to land as well. Cleanse comes out early, but the Glacial Prison lands. That's Rookter taking multiple turret shots. He's going to get taken below half health. Death sentence does not connect, but that will be the mid lane outer turret alive for now. SF80 not able to take this one down despite committing multiple resources towards it. And the rapid fire cannon now complete here for Dolphin in that bot lane. He's going to just be looking to apply damage from a safe range, not going for that Storm Razors here. He's opting for team fight instead of catch potential, and definitely could be huge for him. That bot lane, Truodog getting hammered here. He loses about half his health on that one rotation here from Unknown Temptation. If he gets hit by another Event Horizon, we could very well see Poppy being popped there by that Primordial Burst, the Vigar ultimate executing him. Instead, he's going to run into Jaster here, and Keeper's Verdict going to be used very, very proactively, and that might mean Truodog just has to give up this bot lane turret here. Yeah, it looks like he will. Jaster there to help Unknown Temptation. Unknown Temptation already doing a lot of damage. Has quite a few stacks here on his passive. 135 additional AP here. And he's only going to get scarier as the game goes on. It's already 21.5 minutes for now. And right now, DoV Chaos sort of in the driver's seat. They're looking stronger. They've sort of overcome that lethargy they had in the early to mid game where they didn't want to sort of group up and fight. But now they are on the timer. They have to make plays or they will end up losing this game out to a ridiculously fed Vigar. The question is, where do they go for now? Baron is on the table, but they don't do it that quickly. No Dragon for the next 20 seconds here. And if they're looking for a Dragon Soul or an Elder to try and close out the game, that's going to take them quite a while here because they only have one Drake so far. And it looks like both teams are going to set up for this one here. Lo-Fi, interestingly, opting not to throw out the death sentence there. While it was the North Wolf and he is a tank, North Wolf still a little squishy at this stage in the game here. And Dolphin looking for the flank. Judas is on the side. Will now have his ward cleared out there. And the North Wolf taking a lot of damage. There we go. There's the death sentence. North Wolf going golden to buy time for his team. Will eventually go down. But Unknown Temptation now soon to drop after the Enchanted Crystal Arrow was out. They managed to do it. Cassidy finding the kill. Lo-Fi gonna get taken out there by Rookter. Nobody on Rookter right now. They're focused on Cassidy. Finally, they turn around for Rookter. Are they gonna be able to find him? Yes, they are. And the question is, where was Jaster? He was kiting around the side, doing damage, but no Lamb's Respite means that there is no safety for his carries. Both Unknown Temptation and Rookter just bursted down way too quickly there. And DoV Chaos making the moves they need to, willing to trade 2 for 4 as they pick up the Mountain Drake here. And they're looking for Jaster on the side as well. Truodog able to kind of find him. Weird interaction as Jaster gets dragged back out. Will have to use his flash for now, but he does get out alive. North Wolf has respawned, as has Unknown Temptation. Cassidy about to come up as well, and that's going to put a stop here on the push from DoV Chaos. The mid lane inner turret just barely alive for now. 136 health. That's 1 or 2 shots from Dolphin here. They could have opted to get that, but instead they decided to back off. Did not want to risk giving up kills over, not to mention Dolphin and Truodog right now sitting on 450 gold bounties. You don't want to accidentally give that up and over to the enemy team. And it looks like DoV Chaos has opted to just play around objectives to force their fights here. A very solid choice. They do have the option of sieging up as well with the death sentence, and with Dolphin's range here on the Caitlyn, would definitely be a hassle here for SFAD to try and fight. They'd have to rely on a very heavy engage from the Solar Flare or an Event Horizon, which is definitely a possibility. So I do think DoV most likely going to play passive, play safe, and play around objectives, open ground instead. They don't want to lose too much turrets to health here. That being said, they do have to defend properly because it is going to be Unknown Temptation getting that mid lane turret. We do see the Enchanted Crystal Arrow as well as the Solar Flare coming out. It all lands on the Lo-Fi. He gets burst down immediately there. The Primordial Burst doing work. And they're looking for Dolphin as well. Can they find him? No. Instead, it's going to be the turret taking down the North Wolf there. Was just a little bit too far. So it's a 1-for-1 trade between the supports. They do get the outer turret here from SFAD as well, though. And now Judas looking to try and pick something up on this back end here. Chum the Waters does manage to land on to Unknown Temptation. The Event Horizon, unfortunately, going to put him into the middle of nothing at all, and actually it kind of worked against them, the Lance Respite. It did keep Judas alive, but Judas was not able to follow up, and they do manage to burst him down, while Fizz extremely strong. Unfortunately, just diving into 3, not working out, and they do also manage to get the top lane outer turret as well. So SFAD just doing a bunch of work here, and Dolphin does go down to Rookter in the 1v1, but Truodog is there. Because when 2 of them are fighting, it is going to be whoever shows up late going to be able to pick that one up. And Truodog does find Rookter, but that is the bounty going over to Rookter there. So it's a definite win here for SFAD. SFAD not content to go quietly into the night. They are trying to find ways back in this, but they have to be careful. Jacer gonna get caught out there, completely burst down. No Lamb's Respite available that time for him. Solar Flare coming out just to zone out the side of DoV Chaos from further engaging for now. And while they do lose one, North Wolf and Cassidy are alive. The only issue is that was the jungler they lost, and that is a Baron that we might see going down here. Truodog aggressively going in. Cassidy has to be careful. Death Sentence lands onto him, and it's going to live up to his name as Lo-Fi Warden able to pick up that kill there. And Vision going down here on the side of SFAD. They do still have a ward here on the Pixel Bush that nobody's checked out, nobody's cleared out. And if you do take a look here at DoV Chaos's Vision, they have all the entrances warded. We'll know if SFAD try and contest this one at all. SFAD knowing without the jungler they can't do this, they've opted to just let that one go. They're trying to push in a lane instead, but that is going to be Baron on all 5 members here of DoV Chaos. And right now, SFAD a little bit on the back foot. They're still making proactive moves right now, but they have to be aware they are facing up a Baron up DOV Chaos, and they should be extremely familiar with this because this was where they were last game. It seems like the two teams really have switched a little bit here. Even the picks are so similar on the side of DOV Chaos to what SFAD ran in game 1. So it's looking a bit like the Caitlyn needs to be a priority pick for both teams. The Ashe not really working out too well here for the side of SFAD thus far. And now Dolphin has to be careful. Enchanted Crystal Arrow doesn't quite land him, but it is going to be an aggressive engage here from Northwolf. The Solar Flare and Zenith Blade do manage to get him, and Northwolf able to pick up that kill. He's so tanky, he can tank the turret for days. Rookter, however, is not, and Rookter getting caught under that turret spelled instant death for him. Lamb's Respite comes out, but it's just buying time to give that kill over to Judas, which is an even worse outcome here. And that means DOV Chaos are up 2 kills just as Dragon is spawning. They will be able to pick themselves up their second Mountain Drake of the game for now. And Unknown Temptation has to be careful here. Truodok is here along with Judas. That mid lane turret extremely low. They could dive this one, no problem here. Northwolf has finally come back up. Did actually survive that dodge. And Event Horizon just trying to stop the minions for now. They can't really clear it though. And that Siege minion is going to be able to take down that mid lane inner turret right before the Mountain Drake goes down as well in favor of DOV Chaos. And for SFAD right now, they just need to stall out the Baron. That's the big issue right now, is they can't fight against Baron. They could potentially still look for a team fight. They are down about 4,000 gold, but it's not really showing too much in the items thus far. In the top lane, we've got the 2 major completed items for both the top laners here. Truodok has a bit more of an edge with the Kindle Gem coming out as well for him, in addition to that Bramble Vest. But that's a defensive item and not a huge deal in these team fights. In the jungle, Jaster is a little bit down, does have I believe it's the Warriors enchant there with the Blade of the Ruined King versus the Warmog's Gargoyle Stoneplate, as well as the Cinderhawk from Sonic Ab. So Jaster down quite a bit in the jungle, but because he's got the Blade of the Ruined King, it kills off enemy health. He's not as bad off as if he had built something like straight damage here. So in team fights, he'll be just fine. And in the mid lane here, 191 stacks for Unknown Temptation. Does have the Spooky Ghost and GLP completed already. Building towards that Zonius is in quite a nice place. You'll look over to Judas instead. You've got the Lich Bane, you've got the Proto Belt, and again, Zonius being built up. So they're fairly comparable here. The only big difference is no stopwatch for Unknown. So if he does get tagged by that Chum the Waters, he might just get completely bursted down. And when we look at the ADCs, they are pretty much dead. Even the Mira Mana completed, fully stacked for Rookter here, as well as the PD and IE, matching the IE and Rapid Fire Cannon coming out of Dolphin here. So they're pretty even in terms of the ADC damage supports as well. Gargoyle Stoneplate for Northwolf. We already saw how much work it did, allowing him to dive turrets here without too much of a care. Lo-Fi Warden instead opting for the Zeke's Convergence here instead, which will give Dolphin a bit of an edge compared to Rookter, but a bit less tankiness here. Now the Northwolf has to be careful, is spotted out by Lo-Fi Warden. We do see the double ultimates coming out here, and Lo-Fi Warden is getting absolutely shredded down, and that's the issue with building that Zeke's there. Not enough tanky stats. Yes, it's what Threshes normally go, but against that sort of double ultimate there with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, with the Solar Flare, with the follow-up lockdown CC from the Northwolf, bit of tankiness probably wouldn't have gone to a miss there for Lo-Fi Warden. With that numbers advantage, they're going to be the ones forcing this mid lane right now. Only Dolphin and Sonic Abs trying to block this one up. Truodok coming in now, but he's going to be late to the party. And meanwhile, Judas wanting none of this. He's just going instead for sort of that disengage. The Zenith Blade, interesting interaction, stops him from getting Keeper's Verdict. Instead, it was Rookter getting knocked all the way back there. Jaster just 2 crits. He almost goes down. He does go down as Truodok was in the side there. The Glacial Prison coming out, followed by the Insta Cleanse from Rookter, but it's not Rookter who's the target. It's Unknown Temptation instead. Ace in the Hole comes out. He gets body blocked by Northwolf. Great stop from him, but the Soul catches on to all 3. The Solar Flare coming back up already is going to be great. The Event Horizon as well to try and delay for now. Can Unknown Temptation get away? He is making one hell of a run for it. Meanwhile, Rookter is taking a lot of damage. Piltover Peacemaker comes out, but they're lacking that last one auto, and somehow Unknown Temptation Rookter pull off the great escape. They're out safely. Event Horizon coming down means Truodok is gonna go down to the Primordial Burst there. Was a little over eager. Getting caught under turret means he's dead for sure. But despite that additional kill, it is DoV Chaos knocking on the doors here of SFAD's base. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out. It does catch Sonic Ab. He gets tossed back in and he's going to die to turret once again there. The turrets right now doing work for SFAD, and SFAD playing so well around the turrets here. Vigar as well, absolutely disgusting for Unknown Temptation. His Event Horizon right now on an 8-second cooldown for a 2-second stun. That being said, Judas did manage to access the back line, catching Rookter out here. The rest of his team was not with him, and now the question is, can he get away? The Protobelt going to drag him right into the Event Horizon there. Not going to be good enough. He goes golden. It buys him a bit of more time. The Playful Trickster came back out, but Cassidy is there to finish him off, and that is going to be SF80 now with the advantage this time on the Baron. They're going to start this one up immediately because Sonic Abs is still dead. Truodok coming up here. He's teleporting into that top side. Does have the Keeper's Verdict. He's going to use it. Disengage most of them. It's only Unknown Temptation and Northwolf left in that Baron pit. And Northwolf taking a lot of damage here. He's still tanking it up. Baron is healing up as well for now. There are minions now pushing into that top side, looking like they'll be able to get themselves an inhibitor. And for the side of DoV Chaos, they've completely just given up Baron. They disengaged good enough. They're now looking instead for the Mountain Soul, but SF80 is aware of that. They've peeled off Baron too. They sent Rookter and Cassie back, so it's a 3v4. Not beneficial numbers for them. Solar Flare comes up, but it only catches Lo-Fi Warden. Instead, it is going to be the Glacial Prison finding Jaster there, so no Lamb's Respite available to keep Northwolf alive. He goes down. Cassie soon to follow the GA proc here, and Lo-Fi Warden going deep into the backline will get burst out immediately by Vigar, but it is Cassie going down. Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands only onto Sonic Abs. He's the tankiest member. He can afford to eat that and ignore it altogether, but he has to be careful of the Shred. There's no Blade of the Rune King for Rookter, but he doesn't need it. The IE alone is good enough, and they do end up trading there. And right now that is a 2-for-3 in favor of DoV Chaos, but it should have been much more in their favor considering they started that one 4v3. Rookter took forever to arrive because he was back in base. They will be able to pick themselves up the soul at least, so it is still a win here for DoV Chaos. And the start of this game looked a lot more orderly than the ending so far that we've seen. It's been getting steadily messier and messier. A lot of these fights not necessarily organized. You're seeing sort of the back line end up in the front line end up in the back. And it's actually working out really, really well here for SFAD, specifically for Unknown Temptation, because the more isolated the fights are, the easier it is for Vigar to find and pick off single targets. And the cooldown right now is so short on the Event Horizon that if it's not like a quick one and done sort of fight, he can throw up multiple Event Horizons. I think we saw 2 or 3 in that last sort of chase there. And as well for the North Wolf, he's getting multiple rotations of his CC off as well in these team fights, which have been absolutely massive for them. And now Baron looks to be the focus here for both teams. Once again, Truodok has to be careful though. He's going to have to use the Keeper's Verdict really, really early there. And again, the North Wolf with that Zenith Blade on point, able to ignore basically the Keeper's Verdict. He drags himself back in there. And we do see the trap line being set up, but this time SF80 not afraid to go in. They get the Soul Flare onto 2, returned with that Glacial Prison immediately here. And Unknown Temptation getting burst out right away. He goes down. They trade Truodok for it. Definitely worth it. Northwolf now down as well. Rookter trying to put damage from the side. Does manage to find and take down Lo-Fi Warden, but it's going to be at the expense of his own life. Dolphin putting out work, and as long as Dolphin's alive, damage is going to continue coming out. Cassidy getting taken kind of low, but everybody on the side of DoV Chaos is low. No Harpoon available means no Execute either. Playful Trickster comes out, but it is instead going to be the hit shot from Dolphin to finish off that one, and they're not going to go for Baron. They're going to go pushing in for that mid lane instead. They already have one inhibitor down. Why not get the others while they're at it? They're actually going to push right past here. They get themselves that inhibitor turret. They're going to go for the Nexus turret instead. They did take it down earlier. They take down the other Nexus turret. They're on the Nexus right now. Northwolf coming up in 2 seconds, but he was not going to be able to do anything. By the time he's up, by the time he leaves Fountain, Nexus is already down. And DoV Chaos firing back in game 2 here to even up the score. We've got ourselves a series. It's a 1-for-1 after game 2 here. And Dolphin Judas on the Caitlyn this time, winning out. Is down a little bit of CS towards the end, but a lot of that's just on catching waves. Instead, he's up 11-4 and 8. So definitely the Caitlyn making a difference between both teams here. And I am expecting to be highly prioritized in Game 3. Either just flat out banned, or we should see it in a fairly early rotation here for both teams. Rookter doing a great job on the Ashe though, despite sort of having a bit of trouble dealing with the poke. He did manage to end up ahead in terms of CS here and did put out a lot of damage in those team fights as well. Highest on his team once again there. And the Veigar pick kind of worked out. I think for SFAD, a lot of it just came down to the way their solo lanes lost out so quickly, so early. Cassidy coming back towards the late game, but he was just so far behind early that he couldn't quite output the damage he needed to. Same thing with Unknown Temptation there. And the Fizz pick into it worked out really, really well from Dolphin Judas. So a great play in the early game from DoV Chaos. They did stall a bit into the mid game, but they knew how to close it out. And that call to go for the end of the game rather for Baron was definitely huge for them. Didn't give SFAD any more opportunities to get back into the game. So if you are the side of SFAD here, I think a lot of it comes down to that jungle pick. The Kindred not working out for Jster. I'd like to see him on something with either a little bit more early game impact or that he's able to play a little bit better, because unfortunately the Lambs, despite not doing a lot of work, and he ends that one 3, 6, and 10 there. And with that, that is going to be game 2 in the books here for the finals. It is shaping up to be such a close match here. So definitely stick around. We are going to head into an intermission, but you'll want to make sure you're here for the rest of the series because it's looking spicy.